Hello, I'm Chinaza by name, and I will be speaking to you on common mistakes to avoid while writing your ICAN exam. Well, these mistakes are not absolute, that is compulsory that you must do this or not do it. But believe me, this is something I've come to realize and I've applied it and it's worked for me. So if you are able to listen and avoid these 2 to 3 pitfalls, believe me, you're on your right track in succeeding in your ICAN exams. And I know you can. You can. Yes, they say ICAN is this, ICAN is that, but then believe me, people have passed it. People have written it and passed it. There are people who have passed through that stage, and you too can. Now, the first mistake to avoid is late preparation. Yes, you hear me right. Late preparation. You have seen the pack, and for each level, whether foundation, skill, or professional, you will cover up to 5 courses, unless you decided not to write the entire 5 at once. But then, aside from that, each course has its own book and it's plenty. So there's no way you can just wake up 1 October and say that you are going to write November diet. There's no magic in ICAN. There's no way you do that magic. How you the intend to do it? I don't know. I've not seen. So ICAN is not something you just wake up one morning and say you write the exam next week. No, but you have to start preparing early. What late preparation? The one thing is that you know that you are not prepared, and once you're not prepared, you don't have the confidence in yourself. And if you enter the exam hall, you're not even sure or trust yourself. There's the confidence that you use and enter exam hall, but if you don't have it because of your lack of preparation, you have start failing from that. But that's by the way, I do not wish so to happen. If you're able to start early, trust me, you are on a one good way in passing your ICAN exam. Now, let me say they have May diet and November diet. Trust me, by January, you already know that you are certain that you want to write May diet. June, July, you're certain you want to write November diet. So you have to start preparation. One thing that helps ICAN is what? Early preparation. So you start reading it, even if it's small, maybe one topic per day, depending on the pages, or at least, trust me, by the time that you reach to the exam is approached, you would have covered much. But if you leave it that, maybe a month to the exam, you want to cover everything, it does not work so. So please, avoid late preparation. Try as much as you can to avoid. Now, I'll use myself by example. I know I wanted to write November date, but I don't have resources. But then I told myself it's better to be over prepared than not to be prepared at all. I started reading for my exam. Yes, around June, July, I started reading, I started preparing. I registered for tutorial, I started attending. Even October ending, I've not gotten the money. But I believe that the knowledge is not a waste. But then, thankfully, I later paid and I wrote the November date, but I paid at the deadline for payment. The day for the deadline for payment, I paid for it. Now, think about what would happen if I was not prepared. I was not preparing, and the money finally comes, and I know myself I'm not prepared. I will not write the exam, and that I will waste a food diet. So please, when you are certain that you are going to write it, it's something you will make up your mind. It's not something. If you're not, you cannot, you're not ready. Just bother wasting your time. But if you are certain you're going to write this exam, please start preparation early. And once you do that, you are in a sure way of passing exam. Now, the second pitfall that you have to avoid is this. Do not try to copy another person's time. Yes. So, what do I mean by that? They say, man, know thyself. You should know yourself. You should know who you are. Are you a worker? Are you working? Are you a student? If you're not doing anything, you just want to put your full time for your ICAN exam. You have your own time and time to yourself. What worked for Mr. A will not work for Mr. B. Yes. I know I'm trying to tell you like what I think so, but then I also believe that everybody have their own system. Everybody have their own pattern. And for you to even want to write ICAN exam, believe me, you're intelligent, you are smart, you have passed through school and passed it. So ICAN is not for the weak. So for you to pass through the school system and want to write ICAN exam, you are intelligent. And that you should have been doing and make you to pass through school, continue doing it as far as it works for you. If you're a worker, a student, or you have your own time, Know all these things. Know the time you have. Know how your schedule is. Know your activities. And plan yourself. Plan your day. Know what to cut off. Know what not to add. I can involve a lot of sacrifices. Just know all this. And once you have known all this about yourself, then it will enable you to plan your timetable for ICAN reading. You should have a timetable so that you will be able to track whatever you are doing. Now, what do I mean by know your style? First of all, after knowing your system and knowing all these things, secondly, know your reading pattern. Knowing your system, you'd have at least draft the timetable of what, okay, I will read this course today, I will read this course next. If you are someone that want to read entire course, one course, leave it, then continue with another one. But if you want to, like, maybe I'll read financial reporting today, next tomorrow I will read audit, the next I will read taxation, depending on how you want it to go. Or if you want to, like, maybe throughout this week I will read financial reporting, the next week I will read taxation. Whatever works for you, do it. Now, when you have known all this now, prepared your timetable, the next thing is to know your reading pattern. What do I mean by reading pattern? Are you someone that read for 7 hours straight without getting tired and it works for you? Please continue. But if you're someone that you cannot read 7 hours at a stretch or 6 hours, but you can read 3 or 2, then go for a break and do nothing. Then come back again and read, and it works for you. Please follow it. The main idea is that it's something that you can do. There's no essence of reading when you're not understanding. You're just wasting your time at the same time. So if 3 hours, then break, and next 3 hours or 2 hours will for you, please follow it. The idea is that you get something, even if you just 30 minutes or 1 hour reading and you're able to get something, is better. So do what was for you. Then the second one is, are you a day or night reader? Do you assimilate more in the night or do you assimilate more in the day? Maybe you don't have the time, you are working in the day and you don't have the time, then you need to maximize your night. But then also maybe you have the time to yourself but you're not a night reader, then you need to maximize your day. And maybe you cannot read in the day, but you need to read at night. Then you need to maximize your night. Just know what was for you. For me personally, I can't assimilate in the night. Once it's 12, I cannot assimilate. But then I'm a day person and I assimilate well in the day. So I try as much as possible to maximize my day and read. And lucky for me enough, that period, I was a student when I was writing exam. So I have the whole time for myself. But it's not like that for everybody. So know what was for you. Then if you're a day person, but then you work during the day, then maximize your weekend. You can read in the weekend and cover what someone did in the weekdays. Everything's about planning yourself, know yourself. You can, maybe Friday, Saturday, you can, even Sunday, read and maximize your day. Then next one is that, do you prefer summary? Like someone that have to summarize all the pack and then start reading it on your notes with your writing and language? If that was for you, go for it. But if you're someone like me that like underlying inside the pack and written down something beside it, and that's what for me, summary does not work for me, because I will still go back. I still want to go to back to see what it's talking about. If you're someone that, okay, you need to watch videos, need to watch it to be able to listen, if that was for you, perfect, to do it. If you're someone that used to read other books to be able to gather something, read it. But for me, like, I've already used pack and I believe that ICAN will not sit outside their pack. So I majorly concentrate there and try to understand it. Even if you want that pack 2 to 3 times, I do it. So anyone that works for you, go for it. Then the last but not the least is this. Are you someone that prefer reading in the room or outdoor? If I read in the room, I can't read in the room because I will sleep off. I prefer going outside, showing somewhere cool that's aside from my bed to go and read. But if you're someone that you want to stay in your room or stay in the desk inside your room or a cool place to read it. If you're someone that can assimilate more in the noisy place, go there and read. So anyone that works for you, please choose it. Do not try to copy another person. If you're able to compare these two things I mentioned and not the one that works for you and follow it, trust me, you'll be on the right track in passing your exam. Then you now have to make some sacrifices and overstretch yourself based on your system. Then the last but not the least is that, especially for people going for tutorial is good, but then for ICAN exam, you need to sit down and read on your own. You cannot depend entirely on tutorial. You must sit down and read your book. You must sit down and practice what you have been taught. Yes, tutorial open your mind. It gives you views. When someone explains to you, it sinks more. But for you to write and pass that exam, you must sit down and read very well and understand it on your own. You must practice that question. You must solve that group account, you must solve that task question. You must write about that audit, you must write it down, and by that way you have known you have worked yourself plus the tutorial aid you are getting, you are able to pass. So I hope this viewpoint of mine will be able to help you, and I'm rooting for you, and congratulations in advance. I believe that you'll be able to. You can pass it. Yes, you can. So success in your exam, and I believe that you do well. Thank you.